Hi.
Welcome to Master of Motorsport with me, Paul Smith.
And myself, Mark Smith.
And today we're going to be discussing certainly your favourite driver in Formula 1.
Yeah.
At present. That is, of course, Mark Webber.
Mark Webber.
Of course.
In Australia.
Yeah. So, 2002, he started in Formula 1 with the Minardi team. But before that, people don't really know this, but he actually appeared in Le Mans for 2 years for Mercedes. One of those years, they did have slight issues with the car going like that. And so they pulled out of that Le Mans race when Peter Dunbrek had his big accident.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Have a look.
Yeah, you can find it. And so, that was, he was in sports cars a lot. Like I say, gone to Formula 1. And in Australia, in his debut race, finished 5th.
Yep, and the crowd went absolutely nuts, as they would for their fellow countrymen, as it were, a bit like our guys do for the British drivers at Silverstone. But obviously, 5th in a Minardi, that was unheard of.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
That never happens until then.
Yeah, until then. But unfortunately, the rest of the year was a struggle for him. The Minardi wasn't exactly the best car in the field, or indeed on the track. And so what happened was he then moved to Jaguar the following year. Again, not a brilliant team, not a brilliant car. Of course, Jaguar was Stewart Grand Prix until Ford bought them out and used the Jaguar brand. And then after a couple of years, a couple of years. Or was it just 1 year in Jaguar?
I think it was a couple of years with Jaguar, and then they put the team up for sale.
Yeah, he then moved to Williams.
Yes.
And at Williams, he had a couple of seasons there. Through the lean years of Williams, I would say, unfortunately for them, before eventually he moved to Red Bull to drive alongside David Coulthard. And, what can you say about his time at Red Bull?
Well, he was one of the main sort of cornerstones of the team. He was there from the beginning when they were bought out the ashes of the Jaguar team anyway. Along with David Coulthard, who he learnt a lot of stuff from, as well as helping develop the car. It's taken the team 6 years to go from the inception of Red Bull to winning the titles both of constructors and drivers, which, based on previous history of Formula 1, again, never heard of.
Absolutely, yeah, it's never heard of.
Until then.
Until then. But 2009, of course, he was fighting for the championship. Won his first race at the German Grand Prix, having to beat Rubens Barrichello and having a drive-through penalty for almost driving Rubens Barrichello off the track at the start.
He does have a habit of that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Being driven off.
But so Mark, he had the drive-through, he won the Grand Prix. He was, shall we say, a little emotional on the radio after the Grand Prix. And he's one of the most liked people in the paddock in Formula 1, isn't he?
He's probably got more charisma than most of the other teams' drivers anywhere, to be honest, to be fair. He always tells it straight. He doesn't like to fart about whatever he's saying. If he's got something to say, he will say it.
Oh, of course, we've got to remember before the start of the season, he had an accident on a mountain bike, which broke his leg.
That was his own race series, that.
Yeah, his Mark Webber Challenge, which put jeopardy to the start of his season, but he recovered enough to be able to drive in it. Eventually went on to win a few Grand Prix in that season and possibly challenge for the title. He wasn't the favourite for the title out of the team, because Sebastian was performing better in that car that year.
Yeah.
Following year, there was controversy involved in the Red Bull team, and it seemed to be favouring towards Sebastian.
Yeah, that was more evident in the Turkish race, I think, when Sebastian and Mark Webber had the little get-together, let's just say.
Yeah,
they had a little tête-à-tête on the track.
Absolutely.
Vettel obviously pulled out the race because his car was ruined!
Because he's an idiot.
And then, for some reason, he stood there at the side of the track, professionally professing to do that.
Yeah. And then after the race, Dr. Helmut Marko, who is the head of the Red Bull driver development scheme, he appeared to be coming out in favour of Sebastian, saying it was all Mark's fault. And there was a feeling that the team was going against Mark Webber at that point.
But this was considering all the press up and down the paddock, no matter where they were all saying there was no way that was Webber's fault.
Yeah, absolutely. And then British Grand Prix, again, more controversy. When Sebastian Vettel was given the brand new wing after his had broken on his.
Well, they only had one each for the entire weekend. He broke his in practice, he didn't break it, it felt a bit.
Yeah.
Basically.
And so they took the new wing off of Mark Webber's car, gave it to Sebastian. Sebastian then got a puncture at the start of the Grand Prix, basically gifted Mark Webber the victory. Mark Webber, of course, famously said, "Not bad for a number 2 driver."
Yeah. Of which Christian Horner then said, "Well, maybe you can raise a smile now."
And of course,
the funniest bit of that race, though, was that apparently the mechanics on Mark Webber's car, when they were taking the car to pieces to put it back into the truck to go to the next race, got hold of the wing and were going, at Sebastian's mechanics. Allegedly.
But anyway, so that all happened, and unfortunately things didn't work out. He was the closest title contender in the final Grand Prix, and things didn't work out for him.
Well, crashing off at Korea in the inaugural race there. Also, being upside down didn't help.
Yeah, Valencia, that was a major thing again.
Although there is now a new advert concept for DHL. Throw a Formula 1 car through the sign. Yeah. Backwards, upside down, sideways.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, he didn't win the title that year, which was a great pity for him. So, to sum up then, Mark Webber, damn good driver, true Aussie grit as he calls himself.
As I say.
He does appear to be a genuine bloke off the track as well. So, that was Masters of Motorsport. I'm Paul Smith.
I'm Mark Smith.
We'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.